Hello, I'm Eric, host of Talking with Trans People. This is Rachel.
Hi, host Rachel. I'd say I'm co-host now.
Of course. You can be host Rachel if you want.
And host Pee too.
Mm-hmm.
She's been host before even I was.
I have a message for all the people out there in the world. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills, okay? It's my message to all the people of the world. If you're wondering why is shit going like it's going, or who can explain this? Well, you know what? The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. And blood and bloody ashes, but flaming goat's nuts.
Hey, Levi Samuels. It has been a while.
I'm on book 14.
That's what's up, actually.
That's why you haven't seen much of me.
Yeah.
More than any other reason is I have been stuck in a world of magic and majesty.
Oh, Levi, we missed you too, honestly.
I've been too busy worrying about Illianers, Andor, Abudar, the Blythe, the Waste. It's been
not good.
No trouble. All right, no trouble. Bad trouble. That's fine.
No, but did you feed him? Did you give him a little something? Okay, good. All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
no, he was just being
he's trying to be like strutty around Pee.
Yeah.
You know, be like, I run shit around here.
Yeah. And then she also has the other ones. He gave me kitty face today saying, yeah, like I'm sorry, but still, I told him, I was like, this is Kitty's house. I mean, this is Pee-Pee's house, not yours.
Yeah, well, he does have kitty face at his disposal. What, did one of your chickens walk in? He did have kitty face at his
disposal, and it worked, and we were fine.
I don't have any chickens. Okay? I used to have chickens when I lived in Laverne, but I don't have any chickens. I have, however, a wild cat, a feral cat that comes around and wants to ESTP his way around here, like I'm the boss, I run shit around here.
Well, he got fed, like he got fed in this spot. He would come sometimes and eat Pee-Pee's leftover food, so
we put his food outside. He's such an ESTP.
He is. He really is, and he's a
so
cute
cocky
cat.
Yeah,
such
so
a
cocky,
cute cat.
But also
so
very
cocky.
charismatic.
I can't believe, because we can't see him. Thank you, Pee-Pee, for letting us know. Was that her or him?
Cloud, will you stop, please? So anyway.
Was that growl her or him?
I think it was her.
Yeah, that was definitely her.
My voice is like stone cold.
Look who I'm fighting.
I can't see shit.
Oh, I'll just tell you.
Tell me.
I'm Deadpool, and I'm going to be fighting Hawkeye.
I see.
Yeah.
What game is that? Marvel Fight Select game?
Yeah. Like, it's kind of like, that martial arts game that a lot of people play that was Capcom. Street Fighter?
Oh, yeah, Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's a lot like that.
So, having been lost in this world of magic and majesty for such a long time now, she's not an ESFJ. She's an ESTP. There's no disputing it.
No.
I mean, the funny thing is people want to type Delilah all the time.
Do they?
No, this is the first time in a while I've heard this, but everybody wants to type her as some sort of feeler. And she's so F-bipolar. It's so ridiculous. Talk about a gender thing. It's like Female thinkers are much more likely to be mistyped as feelers just because they're chicks. Does your Marvel game have the word contest in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contest of Champions.
Contest of Champions.
Yeah, it's something that I play.
No, Upton plays. She's a straight up ESTP.
Yeah, she is in the most magical unicorn way. I have not been around a lot of ESTP females, so I have to say it's refreshing.
Her TI is way, way too good for ESFJ or anything short of first or second. She like, you know, when she took logic in college, she just thought it was both easy and fun. No, Donald Trump's an ESFP. Donald Trump's an ESFP. He's a feeler.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way he doesn't make any good arguments. So
played once, but I never played enough to get into it. I have to say I am into it. I go through phases. That's maybe whatever SE. I go through phases with my games because they take up battery usage, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little stingy with my my apps because it uses up my battery, so I don't play it too much, but it's fucking fun when I do play.
Now, ESFPs make terrible arguments. They make the worst arguments
He said
possible.
that his reality is the only one that matters, and that
yeah, it's like that. He's FI tool using. SE is the action form, so there's just not any. There's not any understanding at all of things being defensible, right? Logically defensible or communicatively defensible, valid on a broad scale or whatever. So that is true with some people, Rathor Vicky, and that is in fact my claim regarding Eminem. Why I say Eminem's an ENTP. If you were to evaluate Eminem's interviews, you'd conclude correctly from that data that he's an ISTP. But I'm saying that to say it is misleading, and that the reality is his work product proves something else. Yeah, I think Kanye is probably ENFJ.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure of that. I feel very confident about that. But I don't think that's the case with Trump. Because the thing is, the reason Eminem can pull it off is he does so few interviews. And it's so much a part of his ESTP, probably Drake is, or possibly ESFP, but probably ESTP.
Get his dances.
Rachel can do the Drake dance.
I like the Drake dance. It's really funny. You know, you used to call me on your cell phone.
Is YouTube my main profession? No, not really. My main profession is debate coach. I have a long professional. I have a very fat resume of professional accomplishment in my actual profession of debate coaching, but I'm at the moment sort of fortunate enough to not have to work a whole hell of a lot. I still work for those people, and come August 1st, the new topics come out, so I start actually debate coaching again. This summer I've been doing some teaching grammar, but because I was originally first I was a debater in high school, then I was an English teacher, then I became a debate coach. But I can get talked into tutoring kids in grammar and stuff, or not tutoring them, but teaching them grammar, because it's a good. I like teaching grammar. I have a book I wrote called The Orderly World of Grammar, and I use that as materials to teach grammar.
Okay.
I'd also be willing to, although nobody's ever really hired me to do this, but I'd be willing to do to teach kids conditional logic and stuff too. I mean, I used to teach that class, but I'm saying I've never taught it like online one-on-one. Right. Right now, anybody who's working in education has to basically work online, which is fine. There's actually a shit ton of opportunity. If I wanted to grab at it, I could get more hours than I knew what to do with. Right. But I'm being stubbornly self-indulgent, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, I actually was very successful in my career as a debate coach back when I was more active in it. I have multiple national champions at the middle school level was mainly where I coached at. But for a run of about 5 years there, the school that I was the director of and running, which was my channel is monetized. Which is
he's in love with Pee-Pee, and it's so cute, but what is he doing?
Trouble?
Yup.
I believe I already
Trouble's in love with Pee-Pee. But Pee-Pee's, she's, what do they call it? Fixed?
Yeah, fixed.
Yeah, so she likes it in here better than with Trouble.
I think we're both SXSO, but Rachel might be SXSP, but I think we're both SXSO.
I like going. I think that's with my 7 too. Like I like to do stuff like 7s like to do.
I mean, look, Rachel and I settled very comfortably into long-term relationship once we got over the initial bumps and other issues that came between what was naturally the case. We get along very peaceably. Like there's just no conflict between us at all.
This is like the first time for me too that it's like this. So it's been a very pleasant experience for me. I don't know. I just feel really happy.
Can I give you tips on how to work on SIs and ENTP? Not really. It's one of those things that you get better at it a little bit as you get older. Here's a concrete tip. If you haven't figured this one out yet, if you're buying food, buy a bunch of easy to make frozen microwavable shit, because you're rarely gonna be in an SI balanced state of mind enough to cook yourself food. It's very challenging for ENTPs to remember to eat or feed themselves if it's not super easy and convenient.
True.
Which brings me to my following point. I'm going to go to the garage and get us some corn dogs to cook in the microwave.
Sure. I'm going to finish off She-Hulk. I already did this.
Frozen hamburger patties are fine, but it's still more cooking than just sticking something in the microwave. And you've got to just be realistic with yourself and go, okay, if I'm going to eat adequately, I need to have a lot of microwavable instant food.
Yeah, but I do too. That's how I used to live in Franklin Square.
We're talking about your frozen pizzas. We're talking about your Hot Pockets, your frozen corn dogs, your frozen burritos.
Mini bagels, mini pizza bagels.
Mini pizza bagels. Things you throw in the microwave. A few minutes later, you're feasting on a delicious feast of foods. Let me go get
corn dogs. I'm definitely going to be fed, I wanted to mention to Eric, speaking of SI, I just got we were in Smart and Final, and I wanted to get a magazine, so I got In Style magazine with ENFJ Drew Barrymore on it. And she, being SI polar, describes how she likes to eat the Kraft mac and cheese deluxe. That's one of her things. Her easy, fast go-to. And she actually, the deluxe version of the Kraft, instant mac and cheese is better than the regular. She's great. I like Drew Barrymore too. I watched Never Been Kissed maybe 3 days ago, and it brought back lots of warm feelings from when I was a kid. She was a big part of 90s pop culture. So I feel like, yeah, definitely Drew Barrymore's cool. Pies tend to turn mushy. Pizza. So sometimes pizza I would cook in the, toaster. Instant toaster thing. But we only have the microwave right now, which is totally fine. And it doesn't really... Riding in cars with boys is totally underrated. And Brittany Murphy is in that too. And I think she does a really nice job as well.
Everybody knows you shouldn't go riding in cars with boys.
That's basically the lesson. It really is. You like the crispiness the oven gives? Yeah. I feel you.
Because you know what the boy's going to try to do, right? He'll try to hump you.
Yep. So I was telling them that in the new In Style that I have with Drew Barrymore in it, she talks about how one of the things that she eats is the Kraft mac and cheese deluxe style.
What makes it deluxe?
It's creamier.
I see.
It's more like Velveeta than it is the original Kraft. Yeah.
See, I'm a fan of the original box of Kraft macaroni and cheese with a little regular macaronis and the package of cheese.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
See you later, Levi.
Bye, Levi.
His TE is so prominent because it's not because he overestimates his tertiary functions, because it's the only logic he has that he can reference besides his own feelings. Those are the two things that he references. I got a gut feeling about it, and here's some TE justifications. The STP is just a lot less ideational than the ATP. I tend to like them in media as well. I think Delilah would be a good, media person.
Me too. She was saying how Teddy Fresh, she does a lot of Delilah does a lot of posing, and she would be a great model for Teddy Fresh clothes. So
she's very extroverted and talkative without being very ideational. So it's kind of weird. It's we both talk a lot, but when I listen to her talk, I never really remember what it is she said afterwards. It always seems like banal whatever stuff.
It's funny. That's so funny. I love talking girl stuff with her, I have to say.
You're going to go Blue Aja email answers? Glad to hear it.
You're going to go blue? I'm happy that I'm yellow. Did you know that when my mom painted my room, because I was a surprise gender, she painted it yellow.
Meditation helps in improving personality? I mean, I don't think you can improve your personality. Personality is defined on aspects of the self that remain the same one's whole life. Now, in other words, but it's true also that my fourth slot SI is somewhat better than it used to be, just because SI is a learning function. Mine's slow to learn and stubborn. I'll have to burn myself on the stove multiple times before I accept that I shouldn't touch the stove, right? Sometimes, depending on the thing. But as I get older, it takes me fewer attempts to remember, not because of anything I'm choosing, just because as you get older, time goes faster. So it's you get a little bit less stuck in the moment as an action type, or I do. Waldo,
so
I agree
interesting.
with you about what you said. I don't remember what it was, but I totally agree with it. What was it? Yeah, mac and cheese requires ketchup. I agree.
I never had it with ketchup.
That's how I eat it.
All right, can we try it sometime then?
I'm a ketchup loving guy.
Me too. It's okay. I love ketchup too.
The kind you don't take home to mother.
Mm.
Cause he'll steal all her ketchup, yeah.
I'm a ketchup kind of person too. Aww, and I love our Cacopio. Time goes faster when you're in a routine day in and out. I don't know about that.
Look,
I don't even know.
The speed of time changes according to how interested or into the thing it is you're doing is. Right? So sometimes
Yeah.
if I'm really caught up in a live stream, I'll look up and it'll be 2 hours.
True.
Sometimes if I'm not, it'll be kind of slow, you know?
Yeah. I can't wait to get fun with my hair, like with braids and stuff.
Subwalk, what comes below 0 as far as how popular I was with women in my 20s? -1? I mean, very unpopular.
No.
Meditation is a way of pulling you back into experiential real time, in the moment, living, right? Whether or not that's a good idea depends on what type you are. So if you are a metaphysical type, it might be a good idea to periodically pull yourself back down into experiential living. But that can be attained through what some people call meditation, sitting there and putting you in the moment. Or it could be attained by taking a nice hot bath or something like that. It also puts you in the moment, right?
Yep.
As an INFP, you probably find meditation very rewarding when it's the latter kind, namely the taking a bath and relaxing kind. And you probably feel as though you should somehow maybe be doing this other kind of meditation because it's called meditation. Taking a bath is meditation as much as sitting there like this is, you know? Okay, it's the same thing. It's just you're trying to tune into either SI or NISE stuff. If you try to force yourself to tune into NISE stuff, you're going to be very frustrated with it. You're going to be like, and the people who are in favor of that are going to be like, you need to quiet the monkey mind. The response to which is no, you need to make some action happen in your placid mind. Maybe. How about that? Maybe your mind's too placid. The thing is, there's no inherent reason why it is the case that more mental activity is worse. It's just a cognitive function bias. All right. Let me go get some mustard.
Oh, oh my god, we're having corn dogs.
We are.
I haven't had corn dogs in so long. Oh my goodness.
Have you seen this? Corn dogs. The bloody Yanks made these. Bloody Yanks. Corn dogs.
Corn dogs.
They have neither corn nor dogs in them. So, the thing is, you can also get in the moment by being with your feelings and really feeling them. Like feeling the lump in your throat. Or
stop, I don't want to think about that.
Or feeling the happy, or feeling the... like
those are good motion pieces.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
When I'm reading this book or listening to it, like sometimes I'm listening to it in the headphones, and Rachel comes in and I'll be tears streaming down my face.
Yep.
Now, what am I doing there? Am I FIing? Well, yeah, that's one of the rewards of reading the book for me, is that it provokes FI in a way that's very safe. Usually, although certain media, if it depicts too dark of a scenario or something, that can be bothersome to me. Like too detailed descriptions of torture can,
like in the book.
Yeah, even if they're made up, can stick with me in ways that I don't like.
I understand.
And a scene in this one show one time where this dude, it was a domestic violence guy, and that impacted me for weeks afterwards. I kept like being mad, like thinking it had been an actual thing to be mad about, failing to recognize it as fiction.
You know what's funny?
You're gonna get mustard.
Maybe this has something to do with the TE polar. I wonder. One day when I was really little, like my brother must have been like just born. I looked up and like, do you remember Rescue 911? That TV show?
Yeah.
So there was a Rescue 911 that told the story about this kid who like didn't know how to use a knife. And he like stabbed his like sister by accident, and I was so fucked up from that.
Because you're afraid you were gonna do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that is. You don't cry, hate cringe comedy, or backstabbing plots. Now, Zaylen Black, what would you call cringe comedy? Like stuff that makes you like kind of like ew. I sometimes think that I was saying with Eric, if Meet the Fackers, yeah, that was very.
I don't like
cringy.
super cringy stuff either, but like this book, it's dealing in broad swath emotions that are always effective with me. Things like, something that always makes me tear up is the inspirational speech by the noble leader to the group of underdogs. Like, we will stand this day before the shadow and defeat them with our swords. Like that shit always gets me teary-eyed.
I love that stuff too. Before I learned that I was an INFJ, I read that INFJs, their comfort stuff is like to go back to like old movies and stuff that gave them good feelings. I'm totally that person. Like, I told the community that I was watching Never Been Kissed on YouTube for free like 3 days ago, and like I was so young when that was on, but when that movie came out, but it still like it gave me like warm feelings inside. Like it was so 90s too. Like it was so late 90s that she was wearing like one of those like Baby G like Bubble Shock like wrist watches. And like the dude had like one of the colored Macs. Do you remember the colored Macs, guys? The Mac computers when they actually had colors. Mm-hmm. So it was
But here's the thing. What you're demonstrating right now is a perfect example of the jumping fish. If you compare your relationship to past media against, say, an INFPs or something, you'll discover that you're not SI about your media at all. In other words, you don't keep returning again and again and again to the same media to enjoy it in the same way. You're just drawing SI-NI links between things that you find gratifying, which is normal, but is not really an SI relationship with media.
Well, okay. So not everything is. But sometimes if I need to cry, I used to go to like a movie that I knew would make me cry, and I would go to it over and over again because.
Okay, well that's an example.
But it's not working anymore. Like I've seen it so many times that it doesn't evoke that anymore. I have to find something else that like makes me tear. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it.
Is there a particular therapy type for each ENTP type? I think for more has to do with the problem.
Are they hot? As in like
No, this is a good temperature.
sweet. I feel like I've only had a corn dog like once before.
Let me tell you, these are a good deal, these corn dogs. We're going to Smart and Final.
Oh, good.
30 frozen corn dogs for $10. That's a good deal.
You don't have to worry about the buns.
Right, yeah, it's so easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
What is BOTW? Bank of the West? Are you a consumer of Bank at the? Are you a huge fan of your bank?
That's funny.
Who said that thing? Sean Ryan Barron. Are you a huge bank fan?
Hi everyone. It's good to see you peoples.
All right, so Samuel says there, meditation helps immensely in self-control. You're basically telling your brain, STFU and listen. So this is the thing, Samuel. There are different kinds of functions. There's a action type function, which is the opposite of what you're saying. There's a knowledge type function, and depending on the kind of knowledge function, is going to correlate with that attitude of yours. Okay. What you have to remember is that however one reaches one's state of centeredness and calmness or whatever is going to be very much dependent on how their function stack sets up. So that may be true for you about meditation being a necessary way of returning to the center, so to speak. For everybody, there's going to be some form of quiet or removal of the self from the action if you're talking about a period of quiet reflection necessarily, right? Now, whether or not that period of quiet reflection is really what you need has a lot to do with your type. When Rachel needs to center herself, she's best served to go out and ride her bike or something like that.
Something.
Which keeps her mind empty because her eyes, or SE, since she's SE on the front stack, is engaging in all the data that's out there, right? Whereas, in contrast for me, I do enjoy that, and I feel some sense of satisfaction from that too, because 4th and 8th are kind of similar. But for me, it's more of an SI thing. I need to take a shower, I need to take a bath, or go to bed, eat some food. I can, being an ENTP, maybe in general, or maybe it's just me, I consume a lot of calories. And when I start running low on food calories, then I get very fussy and I start to lose all of my mojo.
It's not just you. It's not just you. It is an ENTP thing. Which is good that you know that, you know? I fucking don't know. I ebb and flow, like.
Well, look, I mean, there's two different things. There's self-care and self-indulgence.
Oh, no. I remember what I wanted to tell you is that after actually vacuuming and cleaning everything, I was sweaty and I was like, ooh, it'd be nice? A nice bath, but I did forget.
Okay, so there's self-care and there's self-indulgence. Meditation is saying reflective self-care. And in every instance of reflective self-care, it can be expressed in a self-indulgent way depending on how you come towards it. For me, I can sit here and get lost in this book for a very long time. Stubbornly self-indulgent, not wanting to, enjoying just being in my element, namely the external metaphysical field, the auditory range of information being thrown at me at high speed. But my brain is just naturally processing it into a story the whole time. I'm caught up in it. I don't want to SI. What's SI? My own experience in real time. No, but you're misunderstanding, Samuel. You really are misunderstanding. Your term is what's the problem. There's no disputing that for every individual human being, there's a need for periods both of action and quiet reflection, of knowledge and of deliberation. How one balances one's own excesses depends on what those excesses are. So it's your term that's the problem. You're trying to lay claim to some sort of spirituality or reality truth that it actually encompasses a much grander area of stuff than you're acknowledging. And the reason you're not acknowledging the grander area of stuff is because of your own function bias.
You should look at it.
So yeah. The other thing is, most of the time that people talk about meditation, remember, you're not meditating right now. You're not meditating. You're talking about meditation. You're making affirmations and negations about it. Okay. So almost always when people talk about meditation, they are making normative claims that are implicit underneath it.
Thank you.
This is something one ought to do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but a lot of people don't practice what they preach.
Well, Samuel, did you hear what I just said, though? I just made a good point, right? So even though you're not meditating, you're talking about meditation. You're making affirmations about it. And my point would be that, if you're making affirmations about meditation, that there's a normative claim underlying that. The one ought to be like you in that regard. Now, this is not something that's deductively or NI even conclusive in the way that, say, natural rights are, or negative rights, or whatever you want to call them. In other words, you're making a holistic truth claim that neither validates on the holistic truth metric nor a deductive truth metric. So that's just how it is. That's not being a pragmatist, it's being wrong. Unless it's pragmatic to be wrong. Sometimes it is, but certainly the two aren't mechanically related. Spirituality is too magical, and I reject magic as an actual thing. You know what, Email Insights? Magic rejects you as an actual thing. What do you think about that, huh?
Do you like it when it comes back at you? Speaking of meditation.
I'm a correctist, Supwalk. I'm always correct about every specific issue. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was thinking about that today, too, actually. Like, sometimes if I get, because I have 7 energy, right? So energy, I feel like 7s are full of energy. I do, to get out of my head meditatively, I remember that we had a ball in the bathroom, and I was focusing on my game with the broom. I was doing some hockey moves and moving the ball around. Then I was like, oh, maybe I could play a handball. And, I was totally out of my own thoughts. It literally I just became connected to my body more. So how do you explain that? Is that not meditation?
But Samuel, the point is that's comparing some sort of observational energies. Oh, you want more mustard? Sorry. Some sort of observational energies versus no observational energies. It's not comparing some sort of observational energies to other kinds of observational energies.
That's a good point.
I quit my alcoholism too, Samuel. I didn't do it through any meditation, although I did involve prayer. Note, those are different things, right? Lately, I've been getting a lot of sleep, or a fair amount of sleep. I mean, a good amount of sleep. I got a 3-hour nap in today, and
here you go, babe. Oh, today. Sorry.
I still pray periodically. I think the key thing for this is a exercise in humility and acknowledging that that one's own will and agency is insufficient to address everything in life.
Thank you. Well said.
Thanks, darling.
You're welcome.
However, the third slot.
Oh, trying to make me buy more stuff. Let me just fight.
I gotta put this mustard away while I wait to see what Hibili has to say about my third slot.
Gwenpool.
Look, this is the thing about absolute and instrumental values, about 3 and 4 both. I'm not sure exactly what the mechanics of that are, but I suspect that whether or not a value is absolute or instrumental has to do not only with slot, but with aspect. So, for example, I see SI physical aspect as an absolute value for me, which is to say, when I do engage in SI gratifying things, it's an end in itself. I see SI metaphysical as instrumental. So when I'm keeping track of my business and having to attend to things, it's because I need to do that in order to validate on FE grounds mostly. In other words, if I don't show up, I'm going to have FE harms. So since every function has 2 aspects, and then there's also 8 slots, there's probably mechanics in there for absolute instrumentality and aspect as it either is consistent with or inconsistent with the aspect of the dominant function. Well, see, Samuel, that's a very TE justification for things, because one can make a case for modeling. We can validate my understanding of cognitive functions by modeling it. In other words, I have information directionalities. There's receive, put, get. There's 2 modes of interaction, that with dynamic systems and that with concrete systems. There's 4 fields. There are different kinds of objects and such, so you could model it and see if it's correct. If in fact my understanding of it is correct, then a simulation based on these mechanics would produce people, simulated people who behave like their types to some extent. Now, I don't claim that cognitive functions explains everything in life, nor that we can understand all behavior through its frame, but we can certainly explain attentional manners by its frame, and the attentional manners are distinct from one another is indisputable. For example, Samuel, it is true that that 5 plus 5 equals 10. But that you have to deliberate if I asked you what 20,751 divided by 3 times 2 is, then you have to think it out. So there's a difference between knowing something and deliberating about it. That's not in any dispute. So now we have to account for that. What is a cognitive function analysis? It's an analysis of attentional manners. We can either do it in a way that is correct, in other words, validates both empirically and logically, or a way that's incorrect, one that doesn't validate empirically or doesn't validate logically. Most of the other systems out there attempt at best to validate empirically. Mine's the only one that validates logically, therefore it's the only one that will validate empirically. And it hasn't been fully validated empirically, but that's just the nature of good intuition. When a good intuitor comes up with a correct idea for something, it usually takes worse intuitors to prove it. In other words, when the guy who came up with plate tectonics came up with the idea and explained how this better explained the world than the existing model of the expanding Earth, people still believed the existing model until they were able to empirically establish that the guy was right. He had been right the whole time. He didn't become right when the empirics proved him right. The empirics were there to prove him right. So that's what empirics do. They prove intuitive people right or wrong. Good intuition is that which provides falsification metrics for its own claims, as mine does. So I get what you're saying, Samuel. You don't like the loosey-goosiness of it, but that's because you don't understand the power of discourse. I mean, words are more powerful than you could possibly imagine. My model, just like the plate tectonics guy, is better because it's correct, and the other things that deviate from it are wrong. Now, I don't have it all worked out. That's true. I'm not the INTP who works out all the details of this notion. I'm the INTP who figures out the rough problems with the existing model. Okay, no. We need to do it like this. See, the other thing is I'm a debate coach, so I have lots of experience making cases for things. And that's what my model of cognitive functions is a case. It's a case that says this is the best explanation of the mechanics of attentional manners specifically. And the different personality swaths of people that we see in the world are best explained by this. And so if you don't agree that they're best explained by it, fine. But my point is, it's an actual explanation. It's not a bullshit half-assed explanation like every other personality model you might encounter. So don't conclude that just because socionics doesn't understand the difference between an object of analysis and an example of analysis means that I don't. I do. I mean, I discuss it all the time in these live streams. We're basically going to make some more videos, but the other problem with discussing things deeper is those videos are so boring. They're so TI heavy. I can't even watch them myself. It's like all this explanation shit, right? The only people who care about it are TI people. Even I don't care about it that much. Objective personality is the most absurd nonsense I've ever encountered in my life. It's objective in the sense that they validate against themselves. It's got like no external validation point at all. It's absolutely absurd.
Guardian and Sasquatch explain their mission and Wolverine's involvement in what they have seen so far.
Hibieli. The cool thing about post-MBTI discussions is it explains why some feel as Samuel does. Right. In other words, only cognitive functions explain why you and I differ about our positions on things without affording either of us the status of correct. In other words, the reason you don't agree with this as an approach to understanding things is one, because you're wrong, and two, because you're a TE person, not a TI person. And that's to be expected. Now, you can be convinced, but it would take more empirics. Because, it's like this is what I am made to do as an ENTP, is this kind of stuff. So obviously I'm very good at it. I'm in my element here. It's not that it doesn't mean that out of my element I'm still more right than you. It just means in my element I'm still more right than you. And the element is specifically that which is most logically or communicatively defensible.
Hey, running fox.
For the person who said, what politics am I? You might say I'm a best argumentarian. Whatever the best arguments are, that's what my position is. I don't like to lose any arguments.
It's very, very, very true.
The advantage that comes with FI polar, I don't really care. I don't really care either way. So I go with whichever is going to win. And what's going to win? The best arguments, obviously. Why do the best arguments win? Well, because there's this thing called rhetorical slope. Rhetorical slope is a combination of consensus and other validation metrics all mixed in together to determine whether some given statement is either easy or difficult to affirm. How easy or how difficult depends on a variety of different factors. Correct is correct, but only if it's correct. Is that not correct? That is correct. Email in fact. All right, let's all pick an X-Man. If you have to be one X-Man, who do you want to be? I'm gonna pick the super fast guy who saves everybody from the blowing up building.
I think they actually label him as ENTP.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's who I want to be. I get to be super fast guy. Who? Jubilee? What does Jubilee do? Does she have a big forgiveness of debt at the millennium?
Ooh, X-Men. So we're talking X-Men?
Yeah.
I used to draw them when I was younger because I used to watch the cartoon.
Subwalk, yes, but not me particularly because I've been forged in fire of debate my whole life. Go ahead, Rachel.
I like so because a lot of things weren't named Rachel when I was growing up. Rogue started with R, so she's my favorite.
But what does Jubilee do?
Yeah, what
Okay,
does
since
Jubilee
Upwalk,
do?
you can join me in the correct argumentarian party. What does Jubilee do? Did she sing people to sleep like Jigglypuff?
That's cute.
What do you want to debate, Upwalk? We probably agree on everything.
Yeah.
The thing is, I have encountered other people who I can't beat in debate, but the reason is because we both agree on all the substantive points and won't commit to bad arguments that will let us be beat. You know, when you say an object of analysis is an example, are you referring to socionics saying a function, what function does instead of defining it? I'm saying socionics doesn't when they say like a Renan dichotomy. What is that? Is that just a taxonomy of behaviors? Is it a description of something implicit to the mechanics of the thing? That's the sort of stuff that that they don't do. They don't do the meta-analysis, you know? Well, hi, Supwalk, jobless 24-year-old ENTP. I'm a jobless 49-year-old ENTP. I'm actually not jobless. I have a little bit of a job.
You do.
But if you have debate experience, you should be a debate coach. You know, we're in high demand, and there's never enough good ones, you know? And you've got a natural ability to be better at it than other people. What do you want to debate about, baby? She just said that ISFP and ESTJ could work out as a couple, but they would need to have sex every single day, and every conflict needs to be resolved in the bedroom, and it'll be guaranteed to work. Huh. That's. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Well, when I say debate, I'm talking about actual competition flow debate. Are you talking about the same thing? Competition flow debate? Because arguing with people a lot is not debate experience. Just for the record, okay? Competition flow debate is a substantially different beast than arguing with people.
Yeah. Like on the street.
I just trust his knowing.
No.
I bet they don't. Supwalk. I bet they don't. I still don't know what Jubilee does. Nobody's answered that question. Does she have some power? What's her power
What
besides not being humped? Somebody told me she can't be humped. Oh, you did LD. Okay, cool. So you're cereal. You're cereal like Cocoa Puffs. Oh, you did answer it? Let me scroll up and see.
Our active stream.
Oh, pyrotechnic energy from her hands rhythm and she shoots fire? Oh, she has plasmas. Okay, cool.
That is cool. Rogue's thing is not that cool, but that's why I like her. I like Professor X.
Samuel, I'm well aware of the realities of audience interaction and cognitive functions. I get that what people want is something about their type to make them feel special or whatever. And you know, it's one of the issues I have with talking about it is that I feel like I've got a great explanation and everything. I've got the best explanation, but that's not in general going to get me a large audience share. Now, I've not particularly cared a whole lot about audience share historically. Like I've not made a lot of efforts anyway to acquire more. But I mean, the thing is, Samuel, like I said, I've done my part of the job. If you want to be serious about your part of the job, then embrace the fact that this is the most logically consistent and logically sustainable understanding of potential manners, and gather the data for me. Put together the data. You do it. And the thing is, I've got shit tons of data available, raw data. They just say typing sessions and stuff where I ask people questions and get different kinds of answers, and we get a clear range of of answers and correlate them and say, okay, whenever these answers here are like this, they're also not like this over here, right? Inverse proportionality implicit to the mechanics. It's there. I'm right about it. The data's all there. But I'm not going to do all the work. Fuck that. I hate that shit. I hate TE shit. I've done the hard part. You people who are less intuitive do the easy part.
What about an INTP?
INTPs would be great to do it to work out the rest of the mechanics. I haven't worked out all the mechanics of it yet either. So for like the nodes, the hard TI parts, INTP should figure out the rest of it. And for the TE shit, let fucking STJs and NTJs worry about that shit. I don't give a fuck. Utility doesn't matter to me. I mean, utilitarian justifications for things are 90% of the time problem causing anywhere where they're not individually particulars. So anytime there's utilitarian justifications for policy, for example, we have disastrous fucking clusterfucks like this COVID nonsense.
Can you help me with the corn dog?
Can I help you with the corn dog? What help do you need with the corn dog?
Finishing it.
Oh, you want me to eat the rest of the corn dog?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll eat it.
Okay.
I really want to talk about this forget-me-not character. Is that true, what somebody said there? If so, it's absolutely brilliant. Forget-me-not. He has a super cool backstory. He has the ability to make everybody forget he exists, but has been on the team for years.
Wow.
So that none of the other characters remember he's on the team, but he's always on the team anyway.
That's cool.
Who's this guy?
That's so funny.
Forget-me-not. You always forget me.
I'm not really into like Gwenpool either. I think that's a little like too on the nose for me.
Which one?
They created a character called Gwenpool, so it's like Gwen Stacy, but or from Spider-Man, but it's Deadpool instead.
Oh, somebody here says he thinks that they're too much like Haley Quinn.
Yeah.
Who's a better typologist? Me or blank? Me. It's the end of the discussion.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what comes after the comma. The answer is me. I will look that up.
Yeah, that's
a
cool.
great, cool
like
character. I've never heard of
character.
it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I've never heard of him, too.
It's a flower's name.
That's true. It's a flower.
You know what I like about X-Men is that their facility where they live and the dormitory, I guess, is in, it's like upstate New York, Hudson Valley, New York. And I have family who live there.
Hello, brethren. Hello, sister.
Yo, CJ O'Connell, what's good?
Gambit. What is his power? Is he lucky? He's a gambler?
The card guy.
Yeah, the guy with the cards. Is he lucky or does he just do card tricks? His X-Men power is he does card tricks. Pick a card. Gambit, look, he's telling you that's not a mutation, okay? Those are card tricks. No, I'm a mutant.
No, I'm a mutant.
Seriously, pick any card, any one. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, 7 of Hearts. Yes, you're right. It's a 7 of Hearts. See? I'm a mutant. Yeah, but you can't. Okay, so what's on this paper I'm holding? How the fuck should I know? Okay, so your power's not very useful then.
So funny. So funny.
Tarot reading is fraud. Well, I mean, look, it's not fraud.
It's fun.
Tarot reading would be fraudulent if they were promising you something that they were not delivering.
Yeah, man. Good tarot readers always say beforehand, like, first of all, 1, it's a general reading. 2, take it as you want. You take what you like about it. If you don't like it, don't take it. And, a good tarot reader will say,
It's a message of. It's like a therapist basically, except presenting you symbols and general truths that then you apply to your own self in life to understand yourself better. And if you treat it like that, then it's great. If you're expecting something more from it than a way of interacting with your own intuition and truths about the world, then you're going to be disappointed.
I like it to use as guidance to see where I'm at. And I've been like, I used to really like.
Look, here's the thing, Dr. Vicky. The other reality is this. Only a few of us are endowed with a real tarot power. Now, I'm going to pull a couple of cards here for you out there, Vicky, and you're going to see the real tarot power. Okay?
Can we use mine too? Can we use both of them?
Sure. Boom. This one. You got the 3 of Pentacles. That means it's apprentice time for you. Time for you to be apprentice to my tarot wisdom.
Okay.
Now, the second card you get, oh, look at that. That's the 8 of Pentacles. That means once you've appreciated my tarot wisdom, you will get to appreciate the benefits of my tarot wisdom. I'm going to pull one more from this deck, then we're going to pull 3 from that deck for Russell and Vicky, too.
Sounds good.
Third card.
Ooh.
Queen of Wands. Once you incorporate all of my tarot wisdom into your soul, you're going to be queenliness in your how to do shit, your wandiness, okay? All right, Rachel, now let's look at her moistness. This card is for your moisture.
Queen of Wands, you are a very fiery person, huh? You definitely do not keep your thoughts to yourself.
That's the same. You got another Queen of Wands.
Yeah, we got another Queen. Vivacious extrovert.
So in other words, what I'm going to let you do with my tarot wisdom is release your true feelings about how to do shit. Now there's this one. This is your spirit, okay? You have the spirit of reunion in your heart. Love and, what does that say?
Sweet.
Sheet? Oh, sweet.
Sweet, yes.
It's a sheet. I was like,
what is that?
Sweet. You're sweet.
Sweet, yes. Nostalgic.
That,
you might love your friends a lot.
That's your spiritual self. So your moist self is the Queen of Rods. Your spiritual self is that thing. Now, your logical self, your mind self. Ooh. Emperor Virtuoso. What this tells you, Rather Vicky, is by using your mind self, you can become master of all the world. Or at least yourself. Okay, so there you go. Now you know the true power of real tarot magic. Or real tarot. Takes making a dedicated table to use and possibly 3 hours each time you read, unless by that time the cards tell you to come back tomorrow. We have a complicated layout one.
This is for Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson got this. Aw. Poor Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
All right, CJ O'Connell. Here's a card for CJ's flavor. Here's a card for the flavor of his tenders. Here's a card for the tenderness in his heart. This is the tenderness in your heart. It's balanced. You got to balance tenderness with logic, okay? Tenderness and logic have to be balanced. You can't be all tenderness, CJ. You got to have some logic in there too. Mm-hmm. Now, for your path to freedom. The path to freedom for you.
Also, 6 of Cups.
Means you're going to have to get some kids and a wife and some cups and a house and a big cauldron in which you boil children.
How sweet.
Yeah, that's adorable. They're boiling those children in a cauldron. Okay, now, this is for your area of courage, where you need courage. Ooh.
Ooh, the Tower.
When you
changes,
have chaos in your life, you
Ooh,
need to
kitty
show
meow
courage.
knows.
Okay?
Courage. Yep.
Courage.
Courage.
Rachel, do you have a card for CJ over there on your deck?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get 3 from my deck too.
This is CJ's area of imbalance. This is where you're likely to falter and fall. You're going to give all your money to the poor. Too giving
to the poor.
You're too giving, CJ. Don't give away your fortune. This is your area of resolution. This is where you're resolute. Oh, CJ, you're resolute in your spirit child. What a useless place to be resolute. You're going to end up like me, sitting on the internet, screwing around with tarot cards. And lastly,
last but not least,
your inherent self. This is who you are. This is the center of the self. The wheel spins out time and time again as it weaves. The Knight of Rods. Hey, that's
dynamo.
That's like young man getting shit done.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. There's the magic of the tarot for you. Night of Dildos.
You may say that.
Tonight will be a night of dildos. What was that last one? It was the Knight of Rods. Knight of Wands. Sometimes called wands, sometimes called sticks, sometimes called rods. What's the meaning of it? It's like, okay, so if you were the Page of Rods, that would mean you're kind of like a child still about your putting a handle on shit. But if it's the Knight of Rods, then you are more like a vibrant young man you're still not, it's in reference to getting shit done, like TE basically.
You could be a little scattered still. Like you have that like young man sort of essence about you.
Okay, Sky Gear.
That one flew right out for Sky Gear.
Sky Gear, this is your id.
Ooh, judgment.
This is your ego. Ten of Pentacles.
Family, stability.
And this is your super ego.
So super.
Boom.
6 of Cups. We have a theme tonight, guys. If it comes up more than once, it's tarot saying something.
Child boiling.
Child boiling is the way to go.
That was the solution to the Irish potato famine.
That was actually. That's how I got here. Okay. Wait, we're not done though. We're using mine also.
Oh yeah, we got 3 more, Sky Gear. You got 3 more coming. Okay. So now this is your what? His tenders?
Your tenders.
This is your tenders. Ooh, a lover. It looks like we have a lover in our midst, friends. His name's Sky Gear. Ooh la la. And this is your spirit. Your spirit is that of the hermit. Yes, that was a modest proposal reference. Horse mumbler.
Oh my god!
You can't slip anything past horse mumbler. You better cite everything, goddammit. even your jokes that nobody's gonna get.
Maybe we're gonna hire you, horse mumbler. One.
He is like on top of everything.
Yeah.
That is such an obscure reference, and you totally got it. I can't believe it.
No, wait.
All right, one more for Sky Gear.
One more for Sky Gear. This one. Ooh, you got a decision to make.
This is your current status quo. You need to make a decision, Sky Gear.
Bruh, no, don't come at me.
Yeah, hold me back, bruh. Somebody needs to hold you back, bruh.
Hold you back.
All right. One card, please, to show how will be my future wife. Oh, that's right. You're a dude. I keep forgetting you're a dude, Rathor Vicky. Why do you call yourself Rathor Vicky?
Oh.
Your future wife?
Ooh, the lovers. You might find your lover tonight.
Retro Vicky, I've got some
In
good
this
news
chat.
for you. I got some really good news for you. This means your next relationship is going to be hot and steamy with the ooh and the la and the la. Uh-huh. What it means.
It does.
So, yeah. Get ready to
It
get
really
your poke
does.
on.
Judgment.
I got to go back to my book. I've been away from it for too long. The good news is this, everybody. I'm on book 14. I think the 15th book is actually the last book, and the 16th book is a prequel.
Glad you're happy, Rather Vicky.
So I really only have one more book after this one.
AKA Eve.
Swag-bellied harlot is as great an expression as I've heard in a while. Swag-bellied, huh?
Swag-bellied.
That means you have little jewels and shit on there, and a half shirt, and
yeah.
I'm Julie.
Like Esmeralda from oh my gosh, my belts used to have swag on it. Whoa. I was a belt girl growing up.
All right, you swag-bellied harlots.
Wait, I want to do a reading. James did ask for.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. You read him some cards.
I'm just going to choose the 3 from the top, and that is going to be for you, James. So what we got first?
James gets the spirit child.
That's the id, right?
That's the id.
That's the romancer.
That's
Knight
the beast,
of Cups.
The beast within. It's your beast within, okay?
Beast within.
This is your ego. Oh. You see yourself as a hermit. Holding a lone lantern against the darkness.
I didn't shuffle them enough. But they could be the same. Wow. I didn't shuffle them enough. You also have a decision to make, James.
The tarot speaks. The tarot didn't want you to shuffle them.
It didn't.
Because it wanted James to get these same cards.
Yeah. That was... Now, swag belly, does the fanny pack include a swag? Because I really don't think they're swag.
Look, when I am picturing swag belly, I'm picturing a thought, as they're called, with a halter top. And
what is a thought?
It's a young culture person's word for attractive young female.
But what does it mean? What is the thought?
THOT.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know where it came from. Or
can you teach this Gen X and millennial what thought that hoe over there?
That hoe over there. Oh, I didn't know it meant that.
I didn't know either. Wow.
Oh, that's funny. A thought is a simp master. I see.
I see as well.
All right.
Thought master. Ooh.
Well, that's for the rest of the evening. Okay, that's the card for the rest of this evening, I guess. Be prepared for chaos in your lives.
Exactly. And that's what thought is.
Good night, everybody.
Night.